Good evening and welcome to Newswatch on this 10th day of August 2023. Thank you for choosing Hope TV, the station where you look and live. I'm Tess Njenga and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Murithi. We're also streaming live on our social media platforms at Hope TV Kenya, where you can share your feedback. On to news making headlines today. President William Ruto has arrived in Mozambique ahead of a two-day state visit. The visit is meant to strengthen bilateral relations between the two countries with a particular focus on key sectors, including the blue economy and fisheries, trade, defense, and capacity building. During the visit, Ruto and Nyusi have overseen the signing of 8 cooperation agreements, solidifying the two countries' shared commitment to collaboration. Speaking during a joint press briefing after holding bilateral talks at the office of the presidency in Maputo, President Ruto observed that Kenya and Mozambique enjoy strong bonds of friendship. President Nyusi, on his part, praised the existing trade and diplomatic ties between the two countries, saying it was for the mutual benefit of their citizens. President Nyusi has added that his country supported calls by President Ruto's efforts to have a Pan-African parliament that will guide the African Union in its operations.
I have agreed, Your Excellency, to expedite the process leading to the launch of the Kenya-Mozambique Joint Trade Committee that will again provide a framework for, on a regular basis, for the assessment of whatever challenges our teams encounter as they pursue opportunities in the business, trade, investment, and entrepreneurship space. Our two countries have taken the bold step to abolish visa requirements between our two countries. I know sometimes when we do this, criminals take advantage of that situation, but I'm happy that today we have agreed on how to eliminate the bad people so that we can allow the good people to use the facilities that we are putting in place, including the abolition of visa, to drive trade, to drive investment, for people to move, visit, and drive our economic opportunities.
Now, controversial Pastor Paul McKenzie and 28 other co-accused persons will remain in custody for 47 more days. The Director of Public Prosecution had filed an application on Tuesday last week to continue holding McKenzie and his co-accused for further 7 weeks to allow police finish their investigations. McKenzie's lawyer dismissed the application, saying the prosecution had failed to charge his clients. A magistrate court in Shanzu, however, has said it is not reasonable to release the suspects before a thorough background check. Alice Diana with this report.
The court in Shanzu has today allowed police to continue holding controversial Pastor Paul McKenzie and 28 other co-accused persons for a further 47 days. Shanzu Senior Principal Magistrate Yusuf Shikanda directed the accused to remain in police custody to allow for the completion of investigations, having already spent 90 days behind bars. The Director of Public Prosecutions had on Tuesday last week sought to have police granted the right to continue holding the suspect for at least 7 weeks to allow them finalize their probe, an application that Mackenzie's lawyer Wycliffe Makasembo dismissed, saying the prosecution had failed to charge his clients. However, Shanzu Senior Principal Magistrate has said given that the exhumation of the bodies is still ongoing, the release of the suspects will interfere with investigations. The prosecution welcomed the ruling, noting that investigators from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations DCI will have enough time to review evidence and tie the loose ends of the case. Mackenzie and his co-accused are being held in connection with the death of over 400 people in a suspected starvation cult in Shakahola, Kilifi County. The controversial cult leader, Paul Mackenzie of Good News International Church, claims he is innocent of being involved in brainwashing his congregants. Speaking to the press in court, Mackenzie, who has been demanding his release from prison, told journalists that the biggest sin he is committing is eating meals.
Dhambi kubwa ninayofanya duniani hivi leo mimi ni kula, lakini siku nitakapookoka katika hiyo dhambi ya kula nitaishi na Yesu milele.
Alice Diana, Hope TV Newswatch.
Thank you, Alice Diana, for that report. Mombasa County Commissioner Abdirishak Jaldesa, in partnership with Tuk Tuk Operators, have initiated a countrywide registration of owners and drivers of tuk-tuk in a bid to streamline this sector. Despite the three-wheeled motor vehicles being a popular mode of transport in Mombasa County, previous attempts by the county government to regulate the sector through a 2018 bylaw faced resistance from tuk-tuk operators. And as Grace Ahati now reports, the move aims at weeding out criminals disguising themselves as tuk-tuk drivers.
In a bid to streamline tuk-tuk operations in Mombasa and get rid of criminals in the industry, Mombasa County Commissioner Abdirishak Jaldesa, in partnership with Tuk Tuk Operators, has initiated a county-wide registration of owners and tuk-tuk drivers. Speaking at a stakeholders forum that brought together the government, drivers and owners of tuk-tuks, the county commissioner said they have agreed with tuk-tuk players to register themselves at the stage, sub-county and county levels within a month. Failure to regulate the industry, he says, will be a time bomb since criminals may infiltrate the sector.
Tumepata complaint kutoka wananchi. Kwa hivyo nashukuru viongozi wote tumekuja on board ili tuweze ku streamline operation ya tuk-tuk ili iweze kusaidia wananchi, ili iweze kusaidia mambo ya amani na pia tuboreshe mambo ya uchukuzi katika county yetu ya Mombasa kwa sababu ni sekta kubwa ambayo hatuwezi kuignore.
Jaldesa has further noted that the multi-sectoral meetings will be cascaded in all the 6 sub-counties up to the stage level to pass the registration drive information to all operators. The operators will also be sensitized to acquire driving licenses for tuk-tuks as it emerges most of them lack valid licenses.
Kutoka hapa tutaenda katika sub-counties zote 6 na tutaeleza wale wengine kwa sababu lazima tukue na public participation. Tutaeleza wale wako kwa stages na viongozi wao ili waweze kusajili baada ya mwezi moja. Kutoka pale sasa tutazungumza mambo mengine ya faida kwao, mambo ya licensing, mambo ya insurance. Tuone ya kwamba wale hawana license pia waende driving school ya mambo ya licensing ili tuweze kufanya kazi kulingana na sheria ambayo inatakikana.
On his part, Mombasa Tuk Tuk Operators Organization Chairman Benjamin Ochwango has said working closely with the county government, the registration will bring sanity to the sector.
Mwezi moja kufikia hapo nafikiri itakuwa kama utaki unaendesha tuk-tuk, na utaki ujulikane unaendesha tuktuk, hapo itakuwa labda uko na sababu zako za kimsingi upande wako. Lakini so far so good, mkutano imekuwa mzuri na nafikiri tutaboresha county na usalama ya driver mwenye tuktuk na yule abiria anayebebwa na yule abiria anayotembea. Tukimaliza hii exercise itakuwa kila mtu usalama itakuwa sawa.
Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Grace Ahati.
Thank you, Grace Ahati. Now moving on, education stakeholders have continued to call for collaboration between the government and the private sector to improve the CBC curriculum. The curriculum-based education group, together with the Private Schools Association at a meeting in Rongai, Kajiado County, have said CBC continues to face challenges, especially with funding, so only cooperation will make the curriculum successful. The statement was made by Professor Rodney Reed, Chancellor of Academic Affairs and Students at African Nazarene University, during the launch of a partnership between African Nazarene University and CBE International, focusing on educational reforms.
African Nazarene University and the CBE International is purely to ensure that the rollout is done correctly to the benefit of the learners, the benefits of the environment to which CBC is being rolled out, as approved. The sector is daring to go on a direction that is new and that we think is phenomenal. We have hope for the Kenyan children. We have hope for the Kenyan education system.
At ANU, one of our three core values, our 3 C's we talk about, is character, competence, and community. It's part of our mission statement here at the university to embed holistic education which equips students with excellent skills, competencies, and Christian values. And so this is near and dear to our heart at the university. We've revised just recently all of our undergraduate curricula, and next will be our postgraduate curricula to ensure that 12 core competencies, which we kind of came up with on our own, independent from the whole CBC development, but very much aligned to it, we find, is embedded in every program and therefore inculcated into every graduate of African Nazarene University.
The government needs to look at where they can collaborate with the various stakeholders to have the curriculum enrolled successfully at all levels, from basic education all the way to tertiary level. And one way of collaboration is on education financing. We all know what is required. We know that the learning materials are required for our teachers. We know that in some part of the country, you can see that the schools are in a dilapidated state. How would those schools, whereby children are actually learning under the trees, be able to have integration of learning in ICT, for instance?
Siaya Governor James Orengo now says that the Inspector General of Police, Japhet Comey, is not fit to hold the office, going by his recent remarks against those killed during the opposition-led demonstrations. Orengo has added that whereas the 2010 Constitution demanded that the holders of the office of the Inspector General of Police be a professional, Comey's statement that the opposition colluded with mortuary attendants to remove bodies and parade them in the streets to taint the image of the police was proof that he was not. The Siaya governor called on the international community to come out strongly to condemn the activities of rogue police officers in Kenya who killed and maimed citizens who were exercising their constitutional rights.
Is whether there's a backdating. Yeah, well, you know, the Inspector General under the new Constitution was supposed to be a professional. Professional. The way I had the Inspector General talk the other day, he cannot be a professional. Somebody who can say that unanitupia mawe na mimi niko na bunduki. That is not a professional, because the protection of life is to the citizen, not to the police who is carrying a gun. And by the way, in civilized countries, when you want to break a demonstration, You don't carry an AK-47. You don't carry a handgun, a pistol. You go to Israel. They have been having demonstrations for the last 8-9 months. In France, they have been having demonstrations for more than a year and a half. Even in the United States, over the course of the last elections, there were demonstrations which went to the Capitol. And no policeman used a gun. This is not the kind of police force that those who made our Constitution wanted to head such an important Constitution. And the Constitution requires of the entire police, including the Inspector General, that in carrying out their duties, they must respect and comply with the Bill of Rights, which includes the right to life. The right to life. So, I was very amazed. My father was a policeman. I know how policemen do their work. I meet policemen in court. They are very good policemen we have in the country. But to have a policeman talk that language. And by the way, in South Africa during Mandela, there were such police officers in South Africa talking the way Comey was talking.
Well, on that note, let us take our very fast break on Newswatch tonight. Don't go too far, we have plenty more coming up.
Thank you for consistently tuning in to watch and listen to our content both on Hope TV and Hope FM. You are the reason why we are on air. The CBS Family Service now comes to you every Sunday at 4 p.m. on Hope TV, Hope FM, and on Sitam Church Online.
The Holy Spirit will empower our prayer lives.
Our mission is to know God and to make Him known through evangelism and discipleship.
CBS Family Service on Hope FM and Hope TV, where you look and live.
Welcome back. The spouse of the Deputy President, Pastor Dorcas Rigadi, has interacted with some of the young men under her rehabilitation program in Timau, Meru County. At least 120 boys from various parts of the country who have been in drugs have been placed under her rehabilitation program in Meru. Another cohort has been placed under a tree planting program in Nyeri County as she seeks to dignify their future. The cohort in Meru has been participating in farming such as chicken and pig rearing. They are also involved in artwork before being enrolled in technical institutions.
Mpaka nione mumerudi kwa laini na muko sawa sawa. Na mukirudi nione mko kwa kazi, mufanye kazi, mpate familia. Mutapate familia zenu, wale wako ni baba, muende muwe baba wale ambaye wanaweza shughulikia mama na watoto wao. Na hiyo ndio mimi iko ndani ya roho yangu. Na nikiwaangalia mimi naona maisha yenu ya hapo mbele iko sawa. Na ndio nataka mukate kauli, mambo ya ulevi, mabangi na nini muachane nayo, ndio tuweze kufanya kazi ambaye Mungu aliwaleta kufanya katika hii dunia.
Moving on, transport was paralyzed along the Devki-Kinani-Joska Road after angry locals barricaded it at Kinanie Shopping Center in Machakos County. The hundreds of demonstrators, who included residents, traders and border operators, blocked the road and engaged police officers in running battles. This was after they blocked the road at the shopping center, interrupting transport on the busy road. The road that connects Mombasa Road to Kangunda Road was barricaded for more than 10 hours. They cited the poor condition of the road as the main reason why they blocked it, maintaining that they wouldn't allow it opened unless their concerns were addressed by relevant authorities.
ambapo leo kumekuwa na demonstration, peaceful demonstration kuhusu barabara yetu ambayo tuliona ujenzi ulianza miaka 2 iliyopita na kwa sasa ujenzi umesimama. Na tumekuwa na shida nyingi sana ya vumbi kama wanabiashara na shule ambao iko katika area yetu. Magari yamekuwa yakibeba pozolana kutoka location jirani ya Ngelani ambapo wametengeneza barabara na wakaharibu barabara pande ya kwao, na sasa wamehamia pande ya Kinanie ambapo wanaendelea kuharibu biashara na wanaendelea kuharibu barabara.
Na kama vile mnaona hapa hakukaliki, kazi zetu hazifanyiki. Tunauza manguo, tunauza miti, lakini hakuna mtu ananunua sababu vumbi imejaa. Tunakoa usiku na mchana. Tafadhali tunaomba hii message ifikie gavana wetu wa Vinya Ndeti ambaye ni jirani yetu. Sisi tunaumia. Tunaenda hospitali kila siku sababu ya hii vumbi. Tafadhali tunaomba tuwekewe lami, if not so watumwagie maji kwa sababu hatutaishi hapa.
Na shule, watoto shule iko karibu na barabara. Watoto wakitoka shule hivyo hata uwezi ukaona ni pumbi. Kulifanyika tulikuwa na maandamano ya amani. Tumwagiwe barabara maji.
Kwa Vinya tunakungoja. Mama Kavindu, ulienda wapi mama yetu Kavindu?
Na wakati ambapo nimefika hapa kuweza kuangalia ni nini ilikuwa inaendelea, badala ya askari kuweza kulinda wananchi ambao hawakuwa na silaha, hawakuwa wameshika chochote, tunakaribishwa na risasi. Na hii ni risasi moja ambayo wakati nimefika ilikuwa inapigwa ikielekea gari yangu. Ya kwanza ikamiss, wakarusha ya tatu. Leo tutaondoka hapa, gavana akifika naweza kusuluhisha shida ya vumbi ambayo iko hapa hivi. Wafanyabiashara wenye magari wanasema wao wamelipa cess. Kwa hivyo kama wamelipa, naye county iwajibike. Tutumiwe wataboza, maji ni ya free hapa Mtoathi. Wachote watu wetu waweze kuishi mzuri. Wamama hapa sijui ni chakula tutanunua ama ni dawa tutashinda kwa chemist.
Well, it is a sigh of relief for victims of drugs and substance abuse in Laikipia County after the commissioning of the new counseling center that will help them reform from the drug abuse menace. The facility, which is the only counseling center in Laikipia, will be a major boost to government effort in the fight against drugs and substance abuse among the youth in the Mount Kenya region. The rehab center, which is located within Liki Primary School in Nyuki town, was funded by Liki River Farm at a tune of 4 million shillings. Speaking during the commissioning ceremony in Liki Primary School, Laikipia County Secretary Koinange Wahome has said that learners were going through a lot of challenges in their homes and hence spreading to other learners in the schools.
Tuseme ya kwamba kama national government tumefurahi sana kwa sababu ya kuona mambo kama haya yakifika katika mashule, especially mashule ya public school. Ni kumaanisha ile vita tuko nayo ya madawa inaendelea kuimarika, that it will be productive. Ukiangalia hii area ya Niki ni ile inajulikana na crime hapa na pale, na kwa hivyo kitu kama hii ama center kama hii ikifunguliwa hapa ni kumaanisha tunaendelea we are getting there, tuko in process na tuna take the positive steps kuhakikisha ya kwamba watoto wetu na pia wakaaji wa Liki wanapata services zenye wanafaa kupata.
Kuna matatizo mengi ambayo wanafunzi wanayapitia kutoka manyumbani kwao, na tumegundua kwamba hizo shida zinatoka manyumbani zinakuja zinatupata hapa shuleni, na tatizo kubwa ambalo limeingiana na hiyo utaratibu ni kwamba wanafunzi ambaye wanapata hizo mashida wanakuja wanazieneza kwa wale wanafunzi wengine.
During the corona period, I sat down and started writing proposals and sending to well-wishers. I thought of having a kind of a stopover for these children who are from the streets and who are taking drugs. Instead of refusing to admit them in school, I construct something to make it as a stopover for them to be cancelled before they come and influence others in the class.
Unapata wanafunzi wengine wanajihusisha katika crime katika hii kaunti.
So tunataka hao wanafunzi waweze kupitia katika hii counseling center kabla ya wao kwenda madarasani, ndio wakiingia madarasani wasiharibu wale ambao wako madarasani tayari.
Residents living in the semi-arid region of Bondoni in Makima, Moya sub-county have decried marginalization on health services, saying they are suffering. While speaking during a public participation on how their health facilities are working, organized by Action Aid, a non-governmental organization, they decried being forced to walk long distances to seek health services since the only hospital they have in Bondoni had no medicine. The locals have said many people are suffering since they have no capacity to move to either Machakos or Kirinyaga counties to have better care due to poverty levels in the area. They also pointed out that the maternity ward being set up at Bondoni dispensary is not operational, thus subjecting expectant mothers to untold suffering.
Hii ombi ifikie Excellency our governor aweze kutufikishia kutuongezea madaktari katika hii hospitali yetu ya Bondoni. Tumekuwa na shida mingi kwa wakati mwingi, so tunamuomba kwa heshima, na pia tunamshukuru kwa tumeona amekuwa akifanya kazi mingi, lakini tungemuomba kwa hizo kazi zake anafanya aweze kutuongezea madaktari na pia aweze kutuongezea maendeleo katika hii hospitali yetu, na kama itawezekana the number of wale madaktari wako huko, kama wako embu unazopata embu level 5 ni wengi, atugawie kidogo atuletee huko mashinani.
Mgonjwa akivinyika huko kwetu Bondoni, sisi kutoka nyumbani eli ya Gunja hapa hospitali tunatumia motorbike, tunatumia baisikeli, tunatumia gari ya ng'ombe.
Kina mama tumesema tuko na shida za kuzaa, za kujifungua. Tukigonjekea nyumbani, kutoka nyumbani kuingia hospitali ni shida, kwa maana hakuna pesa, uchumi ni kidogo kwa huku Bondoni.
Sababu hapa kwetu hakuna maternity, huwa tunaenda kwa mama mmoja ambaye ni mkunga, na kwa sasa hivi amezeeka. Kwa hivyo kama ni kesi ya kwenda hospitali labda kufanyiwa CS, unapata wamama wengi hujifungua kwa magari, sababu itabidi mama mwenyewe aende na gari za abiria. Kwa hivyo wakati mwingine unapata watoto uzaliwa kwa barabara, wengine hata wanaitwa majina ya magari yenyewe. Kwa hivyo unapata tuna shida mingi sana. Kwa hivyo tungeomba tuletewe maternity hapa karibu na wahudumu
tuletewe zile dawa, kama ni watoto waletewe antibiotic, kama ni paracetamol hivyo. Watu wakubwa tunaomba pia hivyo.
Families of 3 youngsters who were recently subjected to mob justice for allegedly being behind a spate of insecurity in Kakumba village in Ugenya are appealing to the government to bring to book a politician whom they accuse of handing them to their tormentors. The families of James Ouma, Samuel Ouma, and Israel Owino are pointing an accusing finger at the North Ugenya member of the County Assembly, Ben Adala, and one of his supporters, only named Amilo, of capturing the trio and handing them over to a mob at the Sega border stage, where they were assaulted and left for dead. While James Ouma and his namesake Samuel Ouma were able to narrate their ordeal to the media, Israel Owino is fighting for his life at the Siaya County Referral Hospital, where he was admitted in critical condition. Speaking at Kakumba village, James narrated how his journey to the nearby Obogore Trading Center to look for change so that he could give Samuel his share of the day's wage turned into a nightmare.
Mimi nikaenda kulala. Kufika kulala, huyu jamaa kanifikia. Tuende kwa kazi nyingine kwa shamba. Nikaenda kwa shamba. Kweli nikatoa mahindi. After ya kutoa mahindi hadi kitu saa 11 jioni. Tukaenda Bogre kutafuta change. Sasa kutafuta change. Kufika hapo Bogre, Meli akatuita. akasema nyinyi vijana kujeni hapa mkae hapa. Sasa pia sisi hatukuweka kichwa ngumu, tukaenda tukakaa chini, akaanza kutuliza, nyinyi ndio mlikata mfanyakazi wa Benadana.
Hao watoto walirudi hapa, huyo mtoto wangu alirudi hapa kwa boma, alikwenda Nairobi. Sasa alirudi nikitaka kujenga, alirudi on Saturday. Kifika Thursday ndio nilijenga. Kijenga Thursday, ilifika Saturday jioni. Siku hiyo tuliboma nyumba, na huyo mtoto alikuwa ananisaidia kuleta maji mpaka jioni. Tukishamaliza akatoka kaenda kwa center Obwagore. Ufika huko dakika kidogo, mimi pia nikimfuata, nilienda kutoa pesa kwa M-Pesa, sikujua chochote chenye ilikuwa inaendelea. Kufika huko Obwagore nikapata kama watu wamejazana, na sikujua nini inatendeka Obwagore. Nikaenda tu kwa duka nikatoa pesa, kabla message jarudi nikaona Amilo wakibeba mtoto wangu wakimweka kwa pikipiki, na vijana wengine wenye wamebeba marungu. Hao wa pikipiki zilikuwa pikipiki 3. Hizo pikipiki zikienda, huyu Amilo akibaki kama amesimama hapo. Nikatoka kwa duka kama sijachukua pesa. Nikaenda kwa Amilo, nikamuuliza, Amilo, kwani ni nini inatendeka hapo Bogre? Juu nimeona mtoto wangu mkibeba mkieka kwa pikipiki.
Ama jamaa alikuwa ananipiga na mimi nakimbia, kwenda kunikata nikakimbia. Sasa nilienda hadi police station. Ama polisi wakasema ati umepigwa, ulikuwa na makosa gani? Mimi nikasema nimepigwa lakini hakuna kenye nilikuwa nimefanya. Ama polisi wakanichukua wakanipeleka hosi. Kufika hosi nikapata ama jamaa alikuwa ameshafika kwa hosi. Sasa wanatibiwa. Hata walikuwa wanataka kunifinya na price kitu yangu.
Kwa majina naitwa Samuel Oma, na vile huyu rafiki yangu amesema ilikuwa hivi. Sasa vile tulitoka kwa Rita tukarudi, ilikuwa kitu saa 11. Tukarudi, venye tulirudi mimi nikaenda kulala. Kufika kulala, huyu jamaa kanifikia ati twende kwa kazi nyingine kwa shamba. Nikaenda kwa shamba, kweli nikatoa mahindi. After ya kutoa mahindi hadi kitu saa 11 jioni tukaenda Bogre kutafuta change.
And it was a day full of fun at Sitam Buruburu School as they hosted their annual sports day. Pupils competed in various track and field events, team sports, and friendly matches throughout the day. Teachers, parents, and fellow students had gathered to support and cheer for their respective teams. In anticipation of the upcoming term, the school principal, Helen Oboar, has unveiled a series of reforms aimed at enhancing the quality of education and providing students with a more well-rounded learning experience as they are approaching the Kenya National Examinations. She further added that the goal behind the reforms is to foster a more engaging and dynamic learning environment that equips students with the skills and knowledge needed for success in a rapidly changing world.
Today we had a great event, and this is our annual sports day. This is where we come and show our talents in the outdoor activities. We had lined up sports of various kinds, team building activities, athletics, and a bit of ball games. We also had aerobics, and to start us off, we had our band leading the team into a march past. For the coming term, it's going to be a very short term and also very busy. This is where we are going to have national examinations for Standard 8 and also a KPSEA exam for grade 6. And this now means we need time for a lot of revision and preparing the learners for the examination. Also, in the next term, we have looked around and we have seen the need of parenting sessions for our school, and therefore we are going to have parental clinics whereby we are going to get different facilitators to talk to our parents, and the topics we have lined up for next term is about mental health and also just to make sure that our parents are in good status the way they have been and continue even to be in a better position, and also for our learners and for the staff around here. So next term is going to be very busy because we are going to have exams, the preparation for exams, and we are also going to have time for the parents to come together and be talked to on various issues, challenges in the being a parent in the 21st century.
Ukisoma historia ya Siratu Muhammad ambayo imeandikwa na Sheikh Abdullah Saleh Farsi, Muislamu wa kwanza duniani tunaambiwa ni Khadija bint Khuwailid.
The house Jacob does not believe, and again I say, does not believe in anybody being God. No.
Mwanadamu atakayeji submit kwa will ya Mwenyezi Mungu, huyo anakuwa ni Muislamu. Jini vile vile atakayeji submit freely akaamua kufuata sheria ya Mungu anakuwa ni Muislamu.
Adui huyu ni shetani na majini.
Christ was not crucified at all because his close disciple Barnabas said that no, he was taken live to heaven.
Yesu alikuwa anaenda msikitini na alikuwa ni Muislamu kulingana na Biblia yenu.
Hakuna mahali katika kitabu cha Biblia kuanzia mwanzo hadi Ufunuo neno moja Uislamu.
A very warm welcome back. Let's take a look at business. Environment Cabinet Secretary Soipan Tuya has today toured the ongoing refurbishment of the Kenya International Convention Center, KICC, the chosen venue for the upcoming Africa Climate Summit. The Africa Climate Summit aims to explore sustainable solutions and strategies to combat climate change in the region. Tuya highlighted some of the key task forces established for the Africa Climate Summit. During her tour, she emphasized the importance of collaboration and collective action among stakeholders to tackle the pressing environmental challenges facing Africa.
We are also expecting and have received many high-level dignitaries and heads of international organizations and financial institutions, in addition to representatives from academia, researchers, civil society, women and youth from across the world. So we are really bringing the world to Nairobi to have a discussion on climate action. Indeed, after our tour this morning, we can attest the touch on the works is being done with actually military precision, as always expected from our members of the disciplined forces. And we are grateful for this support. We can only look forward to the handover date, which as I have said, is the 20th of August. And then Kenya and the African Union will then be presenting to the world a ready and fit for purpose conferencing venue for the Africa Climate Summit. Talking about the climate crisis that we hope to address, the impacts of climate change in Africa and the world are evident. They are and range from extreme across all dimensions. The human toll from these calamities is grave. It is Africa's moment to turn the tide and take leadership to drive the world towards decarbonization on a green growth pathway to realize a world of net zero.
NCBA has today announced the launch of its newest branch in the vibrant Eastleigh neighborhood, marking a strategic expansion milestone that seeks to tap into the thriving business community in the area. This significant development underscores NCBA's unwavering commitment to grow its retail banking portfolio while delivering accessible financial solutions to its customers. Tyrus Mwithiga, Group Director for Retail Banking, has emphasized the vital role of NCBA's branch expansion initiative in meeting the evolving needs of its customers. He expressed that this expansion underscores NCBA's dedication to serving as a trusted financial partner on its customers' journey.
NCBA BBS Mall is now officially open.
It is one of the major African banks and has been alluded to, has taken the symbol of the continent of Africa. So it is a bank with a big ambition and a very big vision. It has over 100 branches, as you've had, in 5 countries in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. It has over 100 million customers, I am told. It is a vote of confidence about the stability and the economic growth and the economic power of this particular constituency and particular neighborhood. As you've had, up to 40% of the revenue of our capital city is accrued from here, which means mtafanya biashara, mfaidike na sisi tufaidike. Eastleigh has always attracted people. Eastleigh has always been a transnational node. So I welcome you, and I want to say that we will all grow together. We'll develop a win-win situation.
To the Eastleigh business community, the only thing I want to say is that we are here to support your growth. NCBA truly believes that everyone has a vision, and in you achieving your vision, that's how we achieve our vision. In the same way we trusted the developers of the mall when they told us they had a plan, we were one of the early sign-ups. I think there are not many banks open today because we signed up mapema because we believed in the vision. We also are here to say we are here to believe in your vision. We're here to support your growth. We are here to help you succeed, because if you succeed, we succeed. There's no bank that is successful if businesses are struggling.
Now in sports, Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja has today commissioned the groundbreaking of Joe Kadenge Stadium. The oldest arena in Kenya, City Stadium, is set for a new phase. The facility, which will be known as Joe Kadenge Stadium in honor of AFC Leopards legend, the late Joe Kadenge, will have a seating capacity of 10,000, a FIFA standard pitch, and a sandwich running track. According to the stadium's artist's impression, there will also be floodlights to enable matches be played at night, dressing rooms, a fitness center, cafeteria, offices, a car park of up to 100 cars, among others. The governor has given the contractor up to 16 months to complete the work, after which he hopes to officially open the stadium.
Tunaanza phase ya kwanza, which is 90, I think 96 or so. Phase 2, both of them 1 year, 6 months. Uwanja huu ni mkubwa. Kuna nafasi ya basketball, kuna nafasi ya netball. And even maybe in future we can do some indoor games. But hiyo nafasi iko. But tumesema hii na tunataka purely football. Yeah, football hapa ndani. Na wakati tunaweza badilisha, wakati tuko na tournament za kimataifa rugby pia tuweze kucheza. We are redoing the stands. We're creating more stands all around. We're creating other facilities for netball and for basketball. We're redoing this pitch completely and to get better quality of the turf and the drainage. We have facilities for changing, facilities for training. Just all the standards that are FIFA certified and CAF certified, so that we can also engage in international matches.
Tutatengeneza drainage, tutatengeneza turf na tutatengeneza fence. Tukisema turf ni FIFA Pro quality. Our engineer is coming from Holland. That's our engineer. Ameangalia akaona kuna pipes haijawekwa ndani, so lazima tutoe kiwanja yote tuweke kitu mpya, so itachukua time na ni kazi.
And Safaricom Chapa Dimba tournament heads to Bungoma, Busia and Kakamega counties this weekend for the Western Region County Finals. 12 teams from the 3 counties are expected to battle it out, with the winning teams joining Vihiga County qualifiers in the regional finals scheduled for the 26th and 27th of August at Bukhungu Stadium. The Bungoma County Finals are scheduled to take place tomorrow at the Pan Paper Grounds in Webuye. In Busia County, football's fans will watch as Kingandole Queens from Butula constituency take on Chakol Girls from Teso South in the girls category. In the boys category, John Osogo from Budalangi will be looking to bag a slot in the Western Region Finals by winning against their arch rivals Teens of Hope FC. Meanwhile, in Kakamega, football fans will be treated to a thrilling tournament on Sunday when the finalists Lugusi Boys from Shinyalu come head-to-head against the Menace FC at Kakamega High School grounds. And with that, it's a wrap on Newswatch tonight. Many thanks for watching. I'm Tess Njenga and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Mureithi. God willing, join me again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. for the day's news. Have a good night.